They don't raise their voices. They don't rush their words. Yet when they speak, people lean in. The 1% don't just have more money. They speak differently. They communicate with intent, control, and quiet authority. And if you think it's about having a deep voice or using big words, you've already missed it. What separates the elite from the average isn't just what they say. It's how and when they choose to speak. They use language like a scalpel, not a hammer. While most people talk to be heard, the elite speak to be obeyed, remembered, and respected. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how they do it. Stick with this video until the end, because the final principle is the most dangerous and the most effective. The first rule of elite speech is economy of words. The average person fills silence with noise. The 1% embrace silence like a weapon. Why? Because in every conversation, the one who speaks less usually holds more power. Silence builds tension. It forces the other person to react, to chase your approval, to fill the gap. And when you finally speak, your words carry weight because they weren't given away cheaply. Second, the elite understand the power of certainty. They speak with the tone of someone who already knows they're right, even when they're asking a question. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. Their voice doesn't rise at the end of a sentence like they're asking for permission. They don't hedge with, "I think," or "maybe," or "I could be wrong," but they state, they declare, and the world follows. But it's not just confidence, it's strategic ambiguity. The 1% often say less than they know. They don't over-explain. They drop ideas like puzzles. They let others guess, interpret, even chase their meaning. Because when you create mystery, you increase status. You force others to lean in. Think of it like this. When you spell everything out, you train people to see you as predictable. When you say just enough, they start to see you as someone above them. Either way, if you're starting to recognize these patterns in the powerful people you've met, or even in yourself, pause for a second and hit subscribe, because this channel is built for those who are ready to step into mastery of mind, speech, and social dominance. And the final laws I'll share in this video will change the way you speak for the rest of your life. Let's go deeper. Another tool the elite use is emotional neutrality. They don't overreact. They don't overshare. They speak with emotional discipline. This doesn't mean they're cold. It means they stay composed, because emotional control equals credibility. When you get triggered, flustered, or overly excited, you signal insecurity. But when you stay calm, even while delivering something powerful, you appear untouchable. Next comes status-based framing. The 1% never beg, pitch, or persuade in the traditional sense. They reframe the conversation in a way that makes others want to qualify themselves. They'll say things like, "This may not be for you," or "I'm selective about who I work with." This flips the power dynamic. Now others are chasing them. Whether in business, relationships, or leadership, framing yourself as the selector changes everything. And here's one you've likely never heard. Controlled pacing. The elite speak slowly, not because they're lazy, but because they're in control. They pause, they breathe, they make you wait. They understand that urgency is a symptom of neediness. When you rush, you communicate that your time isn't valuable. But when you slow down, you create gravity. Every word feels intentional. Every pause creates anticipation. Let me give you something practical here. Start recording your own speech. Notice how many filler words you use, like, Start slowing your pace by 10%. And next time you're in a conversation, practice pausing after you speak, not just before. It will feel unnatural at first, but it forces the other person to respond to your tempo, not theirs. Now here's the final most powerful principle. The 1% speak in future realities. They don't describe life as it is. They describe it as it will be. They talk in when, not if. When this is done, once we scale this, after I finalize the deal, These aren't just words. They're psychological anchors. They force others to believe the outcome is inevitable, and people follow certainty more than logic. If you speak the future into existence with confidence, people will treat it as fact. So here's the truth. You don't need to be born into power to speak like the elite. You just need to understand their mindset. Every word is intentional, every pause is power, and every conversation is an opportunity to either signal dominance or submission. The next time you walk into a room, ask yourself, am I talking to be heard, or am I speaking to shape the room? If this video gave you clarity, share it with someone who's ready to level up. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, because this is just the surface. The next video will break down how elite individuals use body language and silence to dominate without ever raising their voice. You won't want to miss it. Speak with power, think with clarity, move like the 1%.